Hello, can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? Mic check 1, 2. Say something if you can. Can everyone hear me? Okay, no one's saying anything. Ms. Hutchinson, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Jesus, I was asking that question. You think somebody couldn't unmute their mic and say something? Thank you. Let's give them 2 more minutes to get in and then I'll get started. This is not going to be a long class because I went over this before, this particular topic before. So it's not going to be a long class at all. I'm tired. All right. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, good afternoon. All right, so tonight I wanted to go over resume writing, okay? Trying to minimize. For those of you, I think I saw someone in a car. If you can get a pen and a piece of paper, there's some things that you're gonna have to write down, okay? And I don't want you to miss out on what I'm saying. Let me repeat again for those persons that are just joining us, this class is not going to be a long class, all right? So we're gonna be in and we're gonna be out. Minimize. Oh, That's not really what I wanted to do. Oh, there we go. All right. So, what is a resume? Some persons may ask. Hold on a minute. There we go. Perfect. What is a resume? Does anyone remember this particular class with us going over what is a resume? Can anyone tell me what we said last time? Anyone can tell me? Someone's mic is up. Of course, it's Cedrin. Okay, but I'll mute you. All right, so make sure you have a pen and a piece of paper to write this down. Simply put, a resume is a 1 to 2 page document, a 1 to 2 page document that sums up. A resume is a 1 to 2 page document that sums up a job seeker's qualifications. A resume is a 1 to 2 page document that sums up a job seeker's qualifications. A 1 to 2 page document that sums up a job seeker's qualification for the job he or she is interested in. I know it's long. So I'm going to repeat it again. A resume, simply put, is a 1 to 2 page document that sums up a job seeker's qualifications for a job they are interested in. All right? So I would have asked some of you to complete a resume for me and a cover letter to put in your portfolios. The month of February, we're going to get into mock job interviews and talking more about your career choices and so forth and so on. But before we could even get to all of that, you must have a resume. Even when it comes to college, some colleges ask you for your high school resume. There are many different reasons. It does not just apply to getting a job. It also applies to you going for you wanting to go off to college as well. So like I said, I would have asked some of you to write a resume for your portfolios, and looking at the ones that were submitted, yes, we needed to do this class over again. I remember last class I did a visual where I shared my screen and I would have walked you guys through how to write a resume. So now I'm going to go into what goes into a resume. All right? What goes into a resume? A resume summarizes the most important information an employer needs to know when it comes to considering you for hire. Meaning, a resume is important because they need to look over that piece of paper and decide whether or not you meet the qualifications that they are looking for that particular job title. All right? Now, the 8 components of a resume. You guys need to write this down. The 8 components of a resume, I would have given it to you last time. The first is a heading. All right? Your heading. Your heading should include your name, your address, your telephone number, your email, your P.O. box. Let me see if I can say that again. The first is your heading. Your heading should include your name, which should be a little bit bigger than every other part of the heading, because that's what the interviewer needs to see. So for example, you will see, and I will try and do a walkthrough with this lesson, but it should be your name, your address, your PO box, your telephone number, and your name, your email, your telephone number, your address. I think I said it all. Did I forget something? Name, address, PO box. Of course, Nassau, Bahamas is included. Just saying that for some people who may not be aware. So you have to include Nassau, Bahamas, your PO box, your email, telephone number. Okay. All right. Then you have your objective. So in your objective, and I'm lightly going over this because we did a whole class on this last semester. Your objective should tell the interviewer why you are applying for the job, lightly. So let's say you're applying to be a cashier, all right? Let's say you're applying to be a cashier. Your objective should be no longer than 2 sentences. Seeking employment as a cashier within your establishment, hoping to learn more for my future goals of becoming an accountant. Bam, done, finish. No more than two lines. Try not to go no more than over 2 lines for your objective. All right? Of course, I will try my best to put an example up for you guys, but like I said, last class we would have went over this. All right? Then you have your education. So I think last class, well, not I think, I know last class I would have told you guys we go from your most recent point of education to your least point of education. What does that mean, Ms. Bethel? Okay, you are now in grade 10 in Charles W. Saunders. Charles W. Saunders is the most recent institution that you are a part of. So the first thing I should see is Charles W. Saunders. If you've been to Charles W. Saunders all of your life, that's all I should see. If you came from another school in grade 9, then I should see Charles W. Saunders. Then I should see under Charles W. Saunders, whatever school it was that you came from. All right? So here's the format. Charles W. Saunders is going to be on the left side of the screen. And once you go over, you tab over, you should see the year. So then I should see, if you came to Charles W. Saunders just this year, I should see 20, what year are we in? 2018 to 2019. All right? Or 2018 to present, because you're not finished. All right? Then after that, I should see, let's say you went to L.W. Young. L.W. Young, then I should see whatever year you would have started L.W. Young. Of course, you're leaving a space in between and you're going over to the right. Let me make sure. L.W. Young is on the left side of the screen and you're tabbing over to the right side of the screen, and I should see the year that you started and the year that you completed. All right? So that's the example there. Like I said, I'm going to try to get a visual in by the time as I'm through explaining. So after you put in your education, you have experience. Some students tell me, well, Ms. Battle, I don't have any experience. Yes, you do. If you helped someone or did some form of community service, that's experience. All right? So what does that mean? It's unpaid, but it's a form of work. It's a form of experience. So I should see, if you helped out at an old folks home, I should see old folks home or children's home, and then I should see you tab over to the right, and then you can put what year you did that. So let's say you did that in 2017. You should have old folks home, and then you should have 2017 on the right-hand side. So nobody should tell me, unless they really, really, really don't have any experience, that, hey, Miss Battle, I don't have any work experience. Yes, you did something. You helped someone at some point in your life. You helped someone, all right? Then afterwards, you have your awards and certificates. That would include the honor rolls. That would include the most improved. That would include your BJC results. Things along that kind of line is what I'm expecting in that particular portion of your resume. Then you have hobbies. These are things that you can look online and steal. Just giving you that little pointer there. Your hobbies. I shouldn't see, and I know you guys are still young, but I should not see, if you're applying to be a cashier, I shouldn't see excellent at playing video games or playing basketball. I should see things like a hobby. What we can say a hobby is. Firstly, could someone tell me what a hobby is? Let me make sure you understand firstly what is a hobby. Somebody tell me what is a hobby.
Something you do on your free time.
Something that you do, okay, I'll accept that. So what can we say if we're applying for a cashier's job? What can we say is a hobby that's applicable to that?
Counting money.
Right, but remember now we're seniors, so our vocabulary is a lot more advanced than counting money. What can we say?
Accountant. I know. Accountant.
Okay, we can, but you can't say accountant. How can we put that? Somebody help me.
Cashing.
Right, but we're applying for a cashing job. What can we say a hobby is that's applicable to a cashing job?
Taxing.
Huh?
Taxing.
Taxing?
Yeah. Taxing.
What taxing y'all doing? Y'all a grade 10. No. Give me something. Somebody Google something, some hobbies, and then look at it and tell me which one, if you're applying for a cashier's job, would you use on your resume?
Calculating money.
Excellent calculating skills. All right, excellent calculating skills. See, it doesn't say accountant because you're not really there, but it tells them, okay, so he or she likes to calculate, okay. So then it opens the door for a conversation to start. What do you like to calculate? And you could say, well, okay, I was in charge of this particular club, or my mom would always ask me to calculate this amount because she works at such and such, so I work along with her, such and so. It shows that, hey, okay, all right, he likes to do this, and this is a consistent thing. She likes to do this. So now we go on to skills. What is a skill?
Something you're good at.
Something you're good at. Okay, so give me a skill if we're applying to be a cashier. We said that a hobby that we like to do is calculating. That can also be taken as a skill as well, but we already used that. So now we have to find something else. What's the skill?
Photographic memory.
Photographic memory. Okay, you can, I'll throw that one in there.
Good communication skills.
Communication skills, excellent, because we have to deal with clients. Or would you say customer service skills? Could we put that as one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, give me another one.
Good advisor.
Well, we can't really say that because when you cashing people up, you swoop, 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 and they gone. So we ain't counseling nobody. Who we counseling? So we saying excellent customer service skills. What else? Come on.
Keyboarding?
Keyboarding skills. Sometimes they don't even need a keyboard when you cash in. You just use the little thing and you scan it. So, I mean, you can say that. Excellent keyboarding skills. I'll take that one. But remember, you're making your resume tailored to which job you are applying for. You don't just put things willy-nilly because it sounds good. It has to be applicable, because when you sit before a person, whether it be a school board or it's a future employer, they're gonna go based on what you have on this piece of paper. They're gonna read, they don't know you, but the information that you've provided them with, they're going to question you on that, and you have to be able to answer. And trust me, we smell lies a mile away. All right? So you put skills that are relevant to what the job you're applying for. And that is by no means any indication that I'm saying that you cannot put anything else. Because let's say you go on a job and you have something listed as a hobby or a skill of yours, and your boss may be looking for someone to assist in that particular area. They could always revert back to your resume and say, oh, Angel does this, or Burroughs does this, or Johnson does that. And they can come to you and say, well, okay, I see here that you like doing this. Maybe you would consider. You see, so you could put one or two things in there, but make sure that most of your skills and hobbies are tailored to the position you're applying for. And then the final one is your references. Now, normally on a resume, you don't put too much information about your references. You would simply put their name, Miss Richie Bethel, and then you would put the number. Some people put Miss Richie Bethel right under that guidance, your position, guidance counselor Charles W. Sanders, and then they would put your number. That way, if persons want to feel free to call them, they can call them. Or they would ask you to bring in an actual reference. Oh, somebody, I don't think you were writing that to me, but anyway, okay, right? So let me go over those components again, all right? So the first one we had is your heading. I'm going to give you those 8 components again. Your heading, your objective, education, experience, awards and certificates, hobbies, skills, references. I can say them again. Heading, objective, education, experience, awards and certificates, that's 1. Hobbies, skills, references. It doesn't matter how you slice it, you need all of those different components for any resume that you write. All right? Who needs a resume? Somebody tell me, why in the good Lord name do we need a resume? Somebody tell me.
To the people, the seekers who are looking. Man, I mess up a lot.
Go ahead, you're on the right track. The seekers who are looking,
To the seekers who are looking at your resume, you can see what you are qualified for.
Okay, so let me help you word that a little better. So that I'm going to keep your words, so that the seekers who are looking to fill a vacant position in their business can find out what skills you possess. We could say something like that. I think that's what you were trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one way. Somebody else give me something else.
So you can make it clear what position you want.
All right. I like that one.
It sums up all the work you've done before.
Remember the question now. We straying. Who needs a resume?
Someone who's looking for a job.
Bam,
An applicant to see if they
bam,
are
bam.
going to be able to.
Okay, yes. Whoever said that, someone who needs a job or somebody who's trying to get into a specific organization. Because you remember I said some persons ask for resumes for colleges. All right. So you will need to submit a resume if applying for a job within an organization that does not rely solely on a standard handwritten application. One of the things I asked you guys to put into your portfolios is a job application. So some companies ask you to come and collect an application, fill it out, and put it in. But then you have some companies who will say in the newspaper, submit your resume to this email address. You need the resume. You need the resume to apply for a job. Even if you have an auntie, uncle, cousin, brother, sister, God, whatever, God auntie, God uncle, God whatever, brother. Yes, even if you got one of them working in one job, they still can tell you, listen, fill out the application or send me your resume. You do. All right. Companies that require resumes will say so in their job postings. And those that don't will ask you to fill out an application. But it's also a good idea to have a typed resume to submit with the application form. Always, whether they ask for it or not, you fill out the application and you also attach a resume with that as well. All right. What's the purpose of a resume? To popular belief, the resume, people feel like the resume land them the job or land them the scholarship or land them the application. No. The purpose of the resume, the sole purpose of the resume is to land you an interview. When you fill out the application, when you complete your resume, persons look over that because they have a criteria for the position that they're looking for. So they look over that and they say, well, okay, we're looking for somebody who has X, Y, and Z, 1, 2, and 3. Let's see if this person has X, Y, and Z, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, X, Y, Z. They don't have 1, 2, and 3. Next. They look at another one. Okay, X, Y, and Z, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's give this person a call for an interview. So they pick up the phone now, or they send you an email and they call you and they say, well, okay, can you please come in for an interview? Because all they have is just this piece of paper to go by. They've never met you. They've never had a conversation with you. But this right here tells them if you're what they're looking for or not. That's why a lot of persons, when I saw their resume, I was in shock because I was like, I did a whole class on this. If I tell you all right now, I have a little summer program going on and I need some people to submit their resume, let's be would have a heart attack. Because no effort went into it, nothing. So how are you to be that candidate that they want if all they have to go by is black and white and that is not even done correctly? So you have to take pride in it. They have a lot of templates out there for you guys to follow. You don't have to follow my exact format, but because you're just starting out in this, my format is pretty easy, pretty simple. Now the different types of resume. Let's get into the different types of resume. All right? Hold on one second. You have the chronological. Make sure I write that down. Chronological. Let me spell that. Because I know some people saying, what? CHRONOLOGICAL. Chronological. With work history listed in revised chronological order. Most recent position first, older position last. Let me break that down. You remember when I said you're in Charles W. Sanders now, right? That's your most recent school. And if you came from another institution prior to coming to Charles W. Sanders, you should have that right under Charles W. Sanders. That is chronological order. The most recent and then the oldest to the bottom. All right? So that's the one that I normally give students. I give students the chronological order. This is the traditional type of resume which focuses on titles and dates. Because a lot of persons are gonna ask you history. They're gonna ask you, okay, so how long you were doing this? And how long you were doing that? And how long were you playing basketball? And how long were you playing chess? How long were you doing this? How long were you at this particular school? But if you have all of this information there, you don't really have to worry about them asking because all of the information is right there. All right? Then you have functional. This less common format focuses on skills and accomplishments rather than dates and times. It divides your qualification into functional categories, such as administrative, marketing, and project management. Y'all don't need to worry about that. That's a little above your head. That's more for me and your parents. That's what we would use. Our student come out of college and do what we have to do. That's called a functional, FUNCTIONAL, functional resume. Then you have a combination / hybrid. Hybrid is spelled HYBRID. I don't need to spell combination because you're all in grade 10. All right? This particular resume featuring a mixture of elements from both of the above resume types. So this comprises with both functional and chronological. All right? This format is the most versatile for individuals. Many feel this format gives hiring managers the best of both worlds. I agree. All right? So this one is called combination / hybrid. Let me go over those three again. Chronological, functional, combination. All right? Those are the three resumes right there. Now, we're running out of time. I have 6 minutes left, so I don't have the time to necessarily do a visual. I'm going to try my best to maybe do a little video and post it. Do you guys feel like I need to do a visual?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, mom.
Okay.
I was saying if you don't have enough time, we do it next time.
Right. We'll see. Because I'm gonna try and work it out. I'll post something in the group. If I can do it, you'll see me post it. If I can't, I will write something in the stream to let you know the next class we'll do a visual about it. All right? So I hope you guys wrote down all of those points because your homework is going to be based on what we discussed. Okay? So
Miss B,
yes?
you could repeat the 3 types of resumes, please.
All right, the 3 types of resumes. Chronological, functional, and combination. Chronological, functional, combination. We got 5 more minutes. Anybody else have any other questions? Want me to go over anything? So y'all got the 8 components and everything. All right then. All right. So if there are no further questions, this brings us to the end of our class. Yay, I made it. Y'all pray for me, Miss B ain't feeling too good. So, I got 2 more classes to go. You guys can probably look out for the homework tonight if you have not completed. Oh, and another thing about the resume, font. Make sure that your font is consistent, please. The only thing that should have a different heading is a different a different size is your headings. So like education should be in bold. Maybe in a 14 font, but everything else should be in 12. All right? Experience should be in bold and 14. Objective should be in bold. I'm going to try and do a visual to show you, but your font should be consistent. I notice a lot of people got a lot of things all over the place. You got to be consistent. Those of you whose name in my group is not your first and last name, I am not going to be held responsible for you not receiving your grades because I don't know. Please stop typing if it's not school related. Please change your Google names, all right? I will not be held responsible if you do not get a grade and I don't know who you are. So please change your Google name, not your Google email. The name. I need to be able to identify who you are. All right? So have a good night, guys.
You as well.